Today we are going to talk about one of my favorite food subjects, mayo, homemade mayonnaise. If you've been following me for a little while, you know I highly promote a mostly protein and veggie nutrition plan. Not really a plan, but I highly recommend you mostly are eating protein and lots of veggies. Sometimes it can get a little bit boring if you're not a little bit creative. So what I always do is make an amazing sauce. And mayonnaise, homemade mayonnaise, makes the most amazing base for so many different sauces. Homemade ranch is one of my staples. I use it a lot. I make an aioli a lot. If you saw my sheet pan dinner, I had a sausage and some potatoes and roasted Romanesco, which is kind of like a broccoli cauliflower mix. Super simple, makes it way tastier to add a drizzle of like an aioli, like a garlic mayonnaise with some lemon in it. It elevates your meal so much that it will just make it taste a million times better. The nice thing about non-processed foods is what I highly recommend is non-processed foods, hence the meat and veggies mostly, is that it's not a food with no breaks. Processed foods have no breaks, meaning it's B-R-A-K-E-S, meaning there's no stopping point with them. Like your body will just continue to want them more and more. But with like a sausage and potatoes and broccoli, there's only so much you can eat before you're like, okay, I'm good, I don't need any more. It's not like highly stimulating, but your food needs to be tasty and it needs to be satisfying. Otherwise you're not gonna eat it and you're gonna be seeking out those processed foods. So let's make our really healthy foods taste really freaking good so that you want to eat them and you're excited to eat them and you look forward to eating them and you put the effort in to make them taste really good, but they're not going to spike your blood sugar or make you feel like crap or make you overeat. They're just good, solid, satiating foods. And adding a tasty sauce can make everything a million times better. So, mayonnaise is very simple. You do have to have a way to emulsify the oil into the egg though. So I'm gonna show you today a food processor method. You can also use an immersion blender, which I don't have. You can also use a blender. So I'm going to link videos to both of those other methods in this video, just so if you don't have a food processor, you can still make it because it's highly worth it to make your own. Any mayonnaise in the store does not taste good compared to this. This is like magical. Plus, like I said, you can make any kind of sauce out of it. So highly recommend making your own. And I'm gonna show you how. It's so fast and so simple. I have one of these in my fridge, jar full of mayonnaise, all the time. And I just take it out to make a quick sauce. It just takes a couple minutes, really, truly. It takes less than a minute sometimes to just whip together something super quick that you can drizzle over your meat and veggies and just make it taste way better than it would otherwise. So let's get this back so you can see. The cool thing about the food processor, most of them, this is a Cuisinart. One of my clients a long time ago traded me like 4 sessions for this thing. It's so old. It's falling apart. This thing is supposed to be attached to this thing. Like it still works though, so I still use it. This thing, if you don't know what this is for, it goes in this top part. It has a tiny little hole in the bottom. See that little hole? And we're gonna pour oil into it and it's going to drizzle it in super slowly to emulsify it into the egg to make it solid. Otherwise, your mayonnaise will break, which means it doesn't ever turn into a solid. It just stays liquid. So really important to have that emulsifying hole. And like I said, you can also do it with an immersion blender or a regular blender. But with a regular blender, you do actually have to stand there and pour the oil extremely slowly. The immersion blender is really easy as well. So I'll send, like I said, I'll link videos to this. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with an egg. I use a whole egg. Some recipes just call for an egg yolk, but I use the whole thing. And it's supposed to be room temperature. I never think far enough ahead to set my egg out for hours beforehand, so I just soak it in hot water to like heat it up really quick. It works great. I've never had a problem, never been sick. I've made like hundreds of batches of mayonnaise. This is a pasture-raised egg from my friend, so I know it's from a good chicken, but I've never had any issues from any eggs anywhere. So we're gonna just crack the egg into the food processor. The whole thing, I just use the whole thing, it's fine. A little dollop of Dijon mustard. Some recipes use mustard powder. Either one, again, is totally fine. You can't really mess this up. I mean, you can if it doesn't emulsify, but with the ingredients, you can't really mess it up. Squeeze of lemon to make a little bit of acid in there. And then I'm going to use just a little bit of oil in the bottom of the blender or the food processor to just get it going. But then what we're going to do, I did this backwards so you could see it. Now I don't know how to do it. Oh, I got it. Okay. This goes here. I can put my janky little side thing in here. Turn this around. So what I'm going to do is here's my cup of avocado oil. Oh, I didn't talk about oil. You have to use either a light, like an extra light tasting olive oil or avocado oil. You can't use regular extra virgin olive oil. It tastes like crap. It makes it taste very bad. So it has to be a really like low flavor oil. So otherwise it will taste whatever the oil is, and it's not good. It's supposed to taste like nothing. Okay, turning it on. I'm gonna pour this whole thing into here, and you can watch it. This is what it does. It drizzles out super slowly into here. And literally this just takes a minute. Just keep filling it up. Hear the sound change, that's when it's getting solid. Just 20 more seconds, we'll be done. Shake in a little salt at the very end, like that. All right, so I'm just gonna shake in a little bit of salt. You could measure if you want, probably a half a teaspoon. That's it. So then, you have a lovely tub full of mayonnaise that you can do so many things with. This lasts like 2 weeks in the fridge probably, so you can use it pretty quickly over the course of several meals. And ranch dressing is always the most amazing thing. I make ranch dressing, I'm gonna make a video about this, but I make ranch dressing with just mayonnaise, enough coconut milk to make it like pourable, and then I just use this ranch seasoning by this Flavor God. Just dump a bunch of that in there, but you could also just use like some garlic powder and some salt and pepper and maybe a little bit of lemon, and it tastes pretty great. But ranch on everything is really, most people know this, really good. And the homemade ranch makes it really delicious. So thanks for watching. I hope you try making some mayonnaise of your own, because it really is 1,000 times better than any store-bought mayonnaise, I promise. And let me know if you have any questions, and let me know if you try it. Bye.